Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your love reading for November 2019. Just a quick mention, I am doing the reading from a slightly different angle. When I was doing the reading before, sometimes I was being disconnected 3 or 4 times and having to restart the video. So I'm shooting from this angle to kind of, avoid that problem. So let's go ahead and begin. Hopefully you don't mind. Let's go ahead and cut the deck. This is the love reading for the sign of Sagittarius for November 2019. Love reading for the sign of Sagittarius. The first card you have, Sagittarius, is the 3 of Cups. Love reading for the sign of Sagittarius. 5 of Cups. Love reading for the sign of Sagittarius. 2 of Swords. Love reading for the sign of Sagittarius. 8 of Pentacles. Love reading for the sign of Sagittarius. Wheel of Fortune. Love reading for the sign of Sagittarius. 2 of Wands. Love reading for the sign of Sagittarius. You have Justice. Love reading for the sign of Sagittarius. You have the Sun. Love reading for the sign of Sagittarius. And you have the Emperor. What's the most important thing that Sagittarius needs to hear about their love life for November 2019? The message that you have, Sagittarius, wow, is the Lovers card. So some of you can be dealing with the sign of Gemini, but the Lovers can mean that if you're single, you could be meeting a very significant partner. Maybe you're going to have a very long-term committed relationship with this person. The Lovers can also represent a decision that you have to make if there is maybe more than one person in your life. So we'll come back to this card in a minute and see how it ties in with the rest of the reading. Let's go ahead and begin. If you would like a private reading with me, just scroll down and you'll see a link to my website, channelguidance.com. Okay, so let's start with this row right here. You have the 3 of Cups, 5 of Cups, 2 of Swords. So when you are starting with the energy of the 3 of Cups, for those of you who are already married, this card does represent family, children, but also represents happiness, love, and good times. So I feel like the sign of Sagittarius needs to hear that, because you also have the 5 of Cups and the 2 of Swords. So some of you, maybe you're dealing, with a really difficult decision here with the 2 of Swords. Usually the 2 of Swords means that you are stuck, like somebody's not making a decision, and it's kind of keeping the relationship or the marriage in limbo. I also see, a lot of sadness here with the 5 of Cups. Some of you might be disappointed in how a partner is acting. It could be that you're feeling very kind of unhappy with your marriage, because we are starting with this energy of a marriage card with the 3 of Cups. With the 5 of Cups, you can also, be experiencing, kind of regrets for those of you that maybe walked away from a relationship. Or it could be the other way around. Somebody's having regrets as far as having left you. Now, when I said that, it could be if somebody is maybe regretting their actions, maybe somebody walked away from you. If this person is having regrets, I do see them being really stubborn here. Maybe refusing to contact you, refusing to apologize, because you actually do have an apology down here. You have the Justice card. So there is something very unfair that happened to the sign of Sagittarius, and this can represent an apology from someone. But you do have this energy which is really stubborn, like somebody is refusing to say they were wrong. Somebody's refusing to apologize, but you still have the energy of the apology here. You also, let's just start here. You have the Wheel of Fortune. So things are going to change for you. I feel like for some of you, you're dealing, with something that's making you really unhappy in your love life. With the 5 of Cups and the 2 of Swords, it's like things won't change. But you do have the Wheel of Fortune, so they will change. And this is always change for the better. Keep in mind that you do have the 2 of Wands on the other side of it. So the 2 of Wands is waiting. You have to wait for things to come together. There's a lot of work to do maybe for things to work out in you and your partner. You have the 8 of Pentacles, which means that there's a lot of time and effort that has to be put in to kind of, to make things change. Because, I see you being unhappy with somebody's behavior here. Or somebody is having regrets about a relationship. Maybe you're having regrets that you took somebody back. We are going to look at the X spread next. Or maybe somebody's regretting the way that they treated you. But I see just someone here who's, is not taking action. Someone who's refusing to make a decision. And again, you have Justice, which can represent the sign of Libra. But Justice also just means that something was very unfair to the sign of Sagittarius. You are not treated right. But this can represent an apology, especially, I just realized these are all major arcanas down here. You have Justice, the Sun, and the Emperor. So for the month of November, you do have the sun. There is a lot of positive energy, so you definitely want to use this. This can be positive energy as far as maybe for those who are single, meeting somebody new, because the Lovers is the main energy. But there can also be a lot of positive energy and success in healing the relationship. For those of you who are already coupled, maybe you're trying to make a marriage work, or maybe you're trying to make a relationship work. There is a lot of positive energy and success, especially, again, where you have been treated very unfairly, where you have been done wrong, the Justice card. It could be that you have to put your foot down. You do have the Emperor here. So this is not all going to magically kind of come together for you, although you have the Wheel of Fortune, which is a card of destiny and changes for the better. Again, something was unfair to you. You have everything kind of lined up here for, for everything to change in a positive way for you. But you have the Emperor right here. So there is something that you have to do. It could be that maybe you have to put your foot down with someone who keeps repeating the same behavior. I feel like this is coming up for all the signs for the month of November. I'm not sure why. But the Emperor is saying you've got to take control here. You got to feel that you're in control of your love life. Maybe you're giving somebody too much power. I mean, especially because you've got the Two of Wands here. If you have been waiting for someone to make up their mind, or you've been waiting for someone to choose you, you've been waiting, for someone to commit to you, maybe it's time that you really speak up and, let this person know that you're not going to keep waiting forever. Eventually you will move on, because I do feel like you're kind of unhappy with your present situation. You're disappointed that somebody, isn't who you wanted them to be or who you hoped they would be. And it's like, somebody is refusing to change here, not making a decision. Let's get a few more so we can get the rest of the message. And let's see what comes up for you. What other messages are there for the sign of Sagittarius for November? You have the Seven of Pentacles. What other messages are there for the sign of Sagittarius? Nine of Swords. What other messages are there for the sign of Sagittarius? And the Knight of Wands. So there is, some action here. I mean, right away, the Knight of Wands. This is definitely somebody trying to move forward. The Knight of Wands is somebody who wants to see action. And this could be you maybe kind of giving your partner an ultimatum in the month of November. Because again, I see you being unhappy here. It's like, you're not keeping your word, or, you lied to me, or you cheated on me. There's something unfair here with the Justice card. And, maybe you're just tired of waiting. But, I see, somebody here who's, ready to move forward. Maybe you're just ready for commitment. Maybe you're ready to get married. This is someone who wants to see action right now. You don't want to keep waiting, because I already see that here. You're ready to move forward in a relationship. But, I also see this. This is someone who is really kind of taking their time and making a decision. And that ties in with the card that's right next to it, the Two of Swords. So for the sign of Sagittarius, it's like somebody is keeping you waiting. Somebody's keeping you in suspense. Like maybe if there is a third party, they're not letting you know who they want to be with, or maybe they're not really letting you know if they want to have a long-term relationship with you, or they want to commit to you. They're refusing to make a decision. And here, this card does represent options. So for some of you, maybe there is someone else, and maybe this person is trying to be very careful as far as who they're going to choose. The Seven of Pentacles is a card of options, someone who's exploring their options and trying to be very careful. But at the same time, like somebody is like, okay, enough, let's move forward here with the Knight of Wands. There is a lot of anxiety here with the Nine of Swords. So for some of you, it can be, I just keep getting the message that there could be a choice as far as maybe you and somebody else. The Nine of Swords is, the nightmare card. Somebody is staying awake at night, agonizing over what could happen. And again, this is maybe around a choice. Maybe you're wondering if somebody's going to choose you, or if they're going to choose to stay married to you or in a relationship with you. I see somebody here that's ready to move forward. So I feel like this represents your energy, and you do have the Emperor, which ties in with it. It's time for you to really stand your ground. This is about being in control of your love life. Don't give your partner all the power. Okay, so let's see what comes up from the confirmation deck. Let me just get a few cards for you here. What other messages are there for the sign of Sagittarius for November 2019? You have the Two of Wands. So this is a repeat card because you have it right here as well. So there is a strong message of waiting. You have the Page of Cups. and the Seven of Cups. What's the most important thing that Sagittarius needs to hear about their love life for November 2019? The message that you have, Sagittarius. Wow, that's kind of eye-opening because the main energy from the other deck was also the Lovers. Okay, so if you're single, you definitely want to act on this because you also have the Sun. And I mean, for the Lovers to actually be the energy, the main energy from both decks, I don't think I've ever seen this in the entire time I've been doing readings. Seriously. So, I mean, like, this is your time. Like, for the sign of Sagittarius, if you're single, like, if you don't put yourself out there in the month of November, you may miss out. But it also applies to couples and exes because this is still a reading for everybody. So the month of November, I mean, with the Lovers being here, I feel like this can change everything for you. The month of November can, like, literally change everything. You have the Wheel of Fortune right in the center of the reading, which is a card of destiny and things, you know, changing for the better for you. Because I see that, you know, you've been stuck in a relationship here. You've been stuck. You've been waiting. And this is a repeat card. You've got one here and you've got one here. So it's the same card, different deck. You've been waiting. The month of November, like, this is it. This is your time. Like, it's finally here. Maybe what you've been waiting for is finally manifesting. So let's go ahead and look at these three cards right here. So again, like, there's been some waiting here. There's been some delays. Maybe somebody has been dragging their feet as far as a relationship, commitment, getting married, leaving a relationship to be with you, or marriage. There's been waiting for the sign of Sagittarius. And let me just kind of jump right here. You've got the Seven of Cups. I feel like you've been waiting and this has kind of left you totally confused, lost. Like, if this person loves me, like, why won't they commit? If this person loves me, why do they keep me waiting? Or if this person loves me, why are they constantly disappointing me? You have the Five of Cups here. So, you know, I do see that you're kind of lost, but the Seven of Cups also does represent choices. It represents that someone is having trouble choosing. So it could be that maybe there's delays. Again, Two of Wands here and here. There's delays because someone is having trouble making a decision. And you already have that message here. If there's a really tough decision around the sign of Sagittarius, whether it's you or the person that you love. And maybe you're just, you know, you're disappointed that there's a decision, you know, that there's even a decision to begin with. You could be disappointed in the person that you love. You know, there is, you know, communication here. So you have the Page of Cups. All the pages represent communication, and this is definitely communication from the heart. So, I mean, because it's between these two cards, Two of Wands and Seven of Cups, it could be that in the month of November, like, you're finally, you know, hearing something that's really kind of giving you hope. Because the Page of Cups is someone pouring out their heart. So someone could be telling you maybe why they've been having trouble making a decision, maybe about committing to you or getting married. Maybe someone has been having trouble really letting you know how they feel about them. This is it. Like, this is a conversation about feelings, about love. And I feel like you've been waiting for this. You've been waiting for someone maybe to tell you how they feel. It's like you're ready. Like, you're ready for action. You want to move forward in this relationship. But the person that you're with is not quite there yet. But I do feel, I mean, again, look at this. The Lovers 2 times. I feel like for the sign of Sagittarius, November, like, this is it for you. Like, this is it. Something changes where somebody had been kind of stalling or refusing to make a decision, whatever that means for you. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the X spread. Okay, Sagittarius, let's go ahead and get into the X spread. Let me go ahead and cut the deck here. Show us the energies around Sagittarius and their X for November. Let's see what comes up for you. Sagittarius and their X for November 2019. You're starting with the Hierophant. Sagittarius and their X for November. The Star. Sagittarius and their X for November. Ace of Cups. Sagittarius and their X for November. Seven of Swords. Sagittarius and their X for November. The Fool. Sagittarius and their X for November. Ten of Cups. Sagittarius and their X for November. The Emperor. So this is a repeat card because it was in the first spread. Sagittarius and their X for November. Knight of Pentacles. Sagittarius and their X for November. And Justice, also a repeat card. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at these cards and see what you have going on. I mean, the good news is that you do have a new beginning here. You actually have two. You have the Ace of Cups, but you also have the Fool. So for the sign of Sagittarius, you can have a new beginning with the person that you love, your ex. there's still a connection here, definitely, you know, with the Ace of Cups, the Fool, and even the Ten of Cups, which means that you can still have a happily ever after with this person, even if they're no longer in your life. Things can change. Remember, you have the Wheel right in the center of the reading in the first spread that I did for you. You also have, you have the Hierophant, which can represent the sign of Taurus. But the Hierophant also just represents kindred spirits, soulmates, and really knowing where you belong and who you belong with. And this is up here with a new beginning. The Ace of Cups can also mean rekindling a relationship. So maybe, your ex really kind of knows, where they belong. I feel like they're figuring this out based on what I see down here. Again, kindred spirits, soulmates, soul family. You also have the Star, which can represent a sign of Aquarius, but the Star is also a card of hopes and wishes being granted. So again, you've been hoping for that new beginning, and it is literally right here. A new beginning for you and for your ex, which is possible. I feel like you do have to be careful. You have the Seven of Swords. Make sure that, this person truly has changed, because it seemed in the first spread that there was kind of like difficult energy around a decision, especially if there was something really difficult that happened with their ex, or maybe they had trouble making a decision. Maybe that's why you broke up. Maybe there was somebody else. The Seven of Swords is a red flag energy. It can represent deceit, but can also represent sometimes being your own worst enemy. Sometimes not making the best decisions. And it can be that maybe you need to be careful. This has come up for a lot of the signs around exes. Be careful maybe as far as, again, this person changing. This card can represent deceit. Someone who is two-faced and sneaky. But you do have a new beginning. You're being told here to just trust. Trust your intuition. It could be that maybe you don't really necessarily trust your ex because this card is here. I'm going to get a few more cards so we can get maybe more insight on why it's here. Because, you're being told that you're going to have to just trust your heart and your intuition around your ex. The Fool means that there are no guarantees. You're taking a risk and taking them back. But with that said, you do have a lot of happiness here. This card also can represent marriage and children. But you do have to really stay in control. And this is a repeat card, so that's significant. And this is also a repeat card. It was in the first spread. So again, it's, with the Justice card, obviously this is your ex. You were treated unfairly. Justice can represent, again, the sign of Libra. But it can also be that, you're receiving an apology from your ex. Definitely it can be an apology coming in for you. But I also feel like this is, this could be your ex making things up to you. Maybe, trying to kind of rebuild your relationship. Ace of Cups here and the Fool. You do have the Knight of Pentacles as well, so this is kind of things moving slowly, slow progress. It could be that in order for them to make things up to you, which would be the Justice card, in order for things to be okay again, in order for you to trust them again, it's going to take time, depending on what happened and why you broke up. But again, you also have to stay in control. You don't give them too much power with the Emperor being here. You have to feel that, you have some say in this relationship as well. Okay, let me get a few more cards and let's see what else comes up. What other messages are there for Sagittarius about their ex for November? Look at this. You've got the Two of Swords again. So this card came up in the first spread, and then here it is again. Sagittarius and their ex. The Tower. Sagittarius and their ex. And Temperance. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at these. So, the Two of Swords, it was, you have that energy of decisions, which was kind of a big theme in the first spread that I did for you. Here are those cards. The Two of Swords, again, repeat card, same card, different deck. So, there is a difficult decision around your ex. Maybe you're kind of undecided as far as do you even want them back. Maybe they had a difficult decision choosing between you and someone else. Or, maybe choosing to commit or not. Maybe you wanted a more committed relationship. You did have the Knight of Wands in the last spread, which is someone who's ready to move forward, someone who knows what they want. But you also had this, which is someone that maybe doesn't know what they want, and so they're stuck, and they're refusing, they're closed off to any type of change. But then look at what you have here. You've got the Tower. So there is an abrupt change around your ex. There is something kind of explosive here. Because it's with the Two of Swords and Temperance, it makes me feel like, maybe your ex, was not making a decision as far as commitment, or choosing to spend their life with you. Maybe they were undecided whether there was someone else or not. Maybe that's what created the problem. Maybe it was something else, but it's like something has changed dramatically with the Tower. This is a surprise for you. And because the Tower is neutral, it depends what's around it. It can be something really positive or something really negative. But you actually have healing around it. You have Temperance. This also represents your energy, the sign of Sagittarius. But, you know, this is healing. This is forgiveness. I mean, look at this. You have it right next to Justice, which is a repeat card from the first spread. So there is, you know, there's an apology and there is forgiveness. There's compassion. So some of you are connecting with your ex. And it could be that maybe you're, you know, you are just shocked. You're stunned that this person even wants, you know, wants your forgiveness or wants to make things up to you, because maybe this person, you know, was not making a decision when you were together. Some of you could even be really stuck as far as like, do I give this person a second chance? Should I really go there again? Okay, let me get a few more cards from the confirmation deck. Let's see what else comes up for you. What other messages are there for the sign of Sagittarius about their ex for November? Let's see what else comes out for you. Let's move things a little bit this way. This is the whole reason I'm doing the reading from a different angle, because I don't want to move my camera. Okay. You've got the Chariot, Three of Cups, and the Seven of Swords. So kind of interesting that the Seven of Swords has come up again. You've got one here and one here. So you definitely want to be careful with those exes where there was deceit, where there was cheating. You want to make sure this person truly has changed, because this is the second time you've had the Justice card. You were treated very unfairly, and I feel like some of you, like, this person is trying to make things up to you. This is an apology. You know, this is forgiveness. But again, you need to make sure that this person truly has changed and that it's not kind of wishful thinking on your part. Sometimes the Seven of Swords can represent self-deceit. You know, you're choosing to see what you want to see. You know, but there is a movement here. You've got the Chariot, which does represent the sign of Cancer. But the Chariot just means that there's a lot of movement around your ex. This is the ultimate card in the tarot of big changes, big movement. This is a card of victory. So I feel like, you know, again, if you have been trying to make things, you know, work with your ex, and you've been really struggling, this is a card of victory. Like, you're finally able to make things move forward. You just had the Wheel on the first spread. You had the Lovers as a repeat card. It just seems like the month of November, like, this is it for you. You also had the Three of Cups in the first spread. Here it is again. This is a card of joy, laughter, celebration. You can be happy again. There can be movement around your ex, but you're still being told, you know, with the Seven of Swords 2 times, be careful. Caution. Again, caution, especially around those exes where there was deceit. Make sure that this person truly has changed. That's probably why you have the Emperor 2 times. And this spread and the first spread, you have to really stay in control here. Don't give your ex too much power. Don't hand them all of your power. Again, there is, you know, a new beginning here. So you can rekindle the relationship with your ex. You have the energy here and here with the Fool. But again, the Fool is saying there are no guarantees. So it could work or it may not work. This is saying just trust your intuition. But again, there is, you know, this surprise. So I feel like there is a surprise for the sign of Sagittarius, and I feel like it's a positive one. You know, you're maybe shocked that somebody, you know, wants to make things up to you, or maybe you're shocked that somebody is, you know, kind of taking back their decision. Maybe they weren't not ready to commit to you. Maybe they chose somebody else. I feel like you're surprised around a decision, because that's what this card represents. And this is a surprise. You're shocked. You're shocked that maybe someone has changed their mind, or maybe they changed their mind and want to be with you. So I do feel like there's a lot of positive energy. Again, the Lovers 2 times as the main energy. I don't think I've ever seen that. So I do feel that for the sign of Sagittarius, like the month of November, like this is it for you. Whether you're wanting to reconnect with an ex, or you want to meet somebody new, or you want to make a relationship work, again, the month of November, like this is it. Okay, Sagittarius, this has been your love reading for November 2019. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you again next month.